NATO Summit with Chicago's talk leader, 89 WLS.
Reminding you that the 89 WLS box office opens every Thursday, giving you a chance to win tickets to an upcoming show or event. Later today, a pair of tickets to see Wanda Sykes, Saturday, September 29th at the Chicago Theater, courtesy of MSG Entertainment. And tickets on sale right now at all Ticketmaster outlets online at Ticketmaster.com. We also, promoting, we also have the Chicago Doobie Brothers, too.
Right.
Weren't we saying that?
Well, maybe,
no, let's get some details on that. Yeah. Hold on. Can you look into that? Did we have a Chicago Doobie Brother problem?
The Chicago Brothers?
Oh, my God, I hope nothing bad happened to a doobie.
Yeah, promote a doobie, right.
So, it's bad. Donna Summer died. We're going to play a little of her in the top 5. You know, we talked to her 2 years ago on this show.
Yeah.
And she has passed away. And we'll have a little bit of just a few seconds of that interview from a couple of years ago. Very interesting. She led an interesting life. Very interesting life. All right, we are in complete NATO hell, people. The Natodians aren't even here, but the NATO protesters are here, and we're not even sure what they're protesting. But listen to this. Did you see this story today, which is just a little bit scary? That there is that part of there may be some hackers and hacktivists who have come to town as well, along with protesters. And, you know, these hacktivists are people who are hacking the computer systems and do all kinds of stuff. Some of them say that they're doing it for political reasons. Most of them are doing it to steal things. And there was a warning out about using Wi-Fi downtown. And it put me in mind of something that I learned a couple of years ago about using Wi-Fi anywhere, using unsecured Wi-Fi networks.
Right.
It's a bad idea no matter what you're doing. And Andy Ihnatko, the great online cyber genius from the Chicago Sun-Times is with us. Andy, why specifically now is this a problem?
Well, it's not necessarily specifically now, but anytime you get lots and lots of people who are blowing into town and then blowing out of town in a short period of time, whether it's for a political protest, whether it's for a sports thing, whether it's for anything, statistically speaking, I suppose that means that a number of those people are going to be no good Sputniks out to do no good for anybody. But you're right. I mean, this is not a brand new problem using open networks. You really need to know these things, whether you're hosting the NATO Summit or hosting a Tupperware party for your friends.
So don't ever go on a Wi-Fi that is not secure, that's not password protected, and you know who owns that Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah, I mean, most of the open Wi-Fi that you'll have like at Starbucks or at the donut place or the coffee shop, it's designed to make it as easy as possible for customers to come in and use it, which means it doesn't ask for a password. But that also means that everything that you type and everything that you receive from the web is being it's sent over totally open Wi-Fi. Anybody with a computer and the right piece of software can take a look at everything that you are transacting on those websites. So you definitely do not want to have any part of an open Wi-Fi unless you're doing the most squeaky clean, Snow White level reading of stuff on the internet. Definitely never don't check into Foursquare. Don't use don't use Facebook. Don't use Twitter. You really can't trust an open Wi-Fi unless you add your own protection and your own level of encryption to it.
And Andy, it's particularly insidious or dangerous. And it's a warning sign if something says something like free Windy City Wi-Fi for everybody, something that's trying to invite you in, and it's got that kind of generic title, as you mentioned in your piece today.
Absolutely. A lot of these road warriors, Wi-Fi users are used to seeing ATT Wi-Fi as, oh, well, that must be a Starbucks nearby. It might be just some guy with a laptop or a device nearby who wants you to think that this is a Starbucks. Or even if you're actually inside a Starbucks, it's possible for somebody in that room, if you see a bunch of people in there, one of those people could be there just to intercept all traffic and route it through their own computer. And because their own computer will route your traffic onward to the internet and then back again, you will never know that all of your transactions were always being monitored by this guy who just paid $8 for a super double whip decaf latte.
So if you're out in public and you're using Wi-Fi, you're using somebody else's Wi-Fi, things you should not do. You should not balance your checkbook using your online banking statement. You should not pay your credit card bills or log into your credit card accounts, right?
Exactly.
You should not do anything that has anything to do with money or porn, for that matter. I think it's a bad idea to be surfing the porn in the Starbucks anyway. But I'd imagine there's going to be a lot of guys, and I hate to stereotype here, but I think there's going to be a lot of European delegates from NATO who are going to be doing that, especially the Germans. They love looking at porn in public. True.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
One of the funniest demonstrations of this problem came at a hackers conference I went to a number of years ago, in which they wrote this piece of software that does nothing but look on open Wi-Fi in the room for any request for any sort of a JPEG or a GIF, and he just simply ran this screensaver that did nothing but also grab copies of those images and put them on the screen as a slideshow. And so suddenly you see 300 people in this conference room suddenly slam their laptops shut as the screen gets populated by the most sickening and hysterically funny images you have ever seen in your entire life.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Funny, but a good warning.
These kids with their computers. Hey, by the way, Andy, I hate to tell you, these computers are never going to last. You might want to think about something else to write about. Maybe the buggy whip industry.
Your beat is too narrow.
Yeah, or maybe or television or radio, something like that.
Groups with guitars also, I'm not too bullish on.
Thank you, Andy. Appreciate it.
That's what, guys.
All right, Andy Ihnatko from the Chicago Sun-Times. So that's a good warning, actually. That's good for anybody. I mean, it's a good piece of advice. No matter what you're doing, don't use open Wi-Fi. So I know you're thinking, well, it's sort of an intuitive thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're at this coffee shop, as Andy mentioned, or wherever. Any place you go into like that, at least 75% of the customers sitting there are on laptops using that free Wi-Fi.
Right, and that free Wi-Fi may be the guy sitting next to you is trying to steal something in your computer. And you don't even realize that that's what the deal is.
Andy says it's basically the same as going into a public bathroom. Even if somebody doesn't mean you harm, you're open to a lot of possibilities there that might not be to your benefit.
Wash your laptop.
There you go.
For 20 seconds. Sing the birthday song while you wash your laptop.